Coming to you from Brick House in downtown Brooklyn, this is 112BK. On the show today, Haiti, 8 years after the earthquake, 15 months after the hurricane, and less than a week after the White House shitstorm, and a Brooklyn-based children's music project. Hi, I'm Ashley Ford. Welcome to the show. I hope you had an enjoyable weekend. Mine was purposefully chill. You know who I wish had a lot more chill? Donald Trump. On Thursday, the President of the United States reportedly referred to a number of African countries and Haiti as shithole countries, basically on the eve of MLK Jr. Day. He says, "I'm not a racist." What? You just play one in the Oval Office to satisfy your base? The thing is, I believe that sometimes people who aren't racist do or say a racist thing. Then they learn that it was racist and they do better because that isn't who they want to be. But you can't say you're not a racist while you openly and consistently say and do racist things. That's just the truth of the matter. You know, there may have been times when we haven't given the president a fair shake. We don't like him, so we have a tendency to see the worst in his actions. This isn't one of those times. I mean, he grouped Africa and Haiti, countries with mostly black populations, or in one case, a continent with mostly black population, as shitholes, and their people as persona non grata. Then he name-checked people from one of the whitest countries in the world as the best of those we could possibly welcome across our borders with open arms. What's worse is that the people around him tried to rationalize, explain, or dismiss this as simply tough talk. It's racist talk, which leads to racist action, and it's a cancer. It's way too late to catch it early. So let's attack it, and ideas like it, with everything we've got. Nothing's over until it's over. On the show today, a couple of Haitian-Americans to hear how they received Trump's comments from last Thursday and learn how Haiti is faring 8 years after the devastating earthquake there. And a singer-songwriter putting out some ridiculous nonsense. Hey, I'm not being mean. That's what she calls it. But first, these things. Last week, we brought you news about prisons restricting prisoners' access to books. In New York, the DOC said families could only send books through secure vendors who had only a small number of titles. We're happy to announce the governor rescinded the ill-advised plan. But there's another problem. These same vendors supply everything, including food. And the food is usually garbage. Well, a Brooklyn woman seeks to change that. She's trying to become the next Amazon service for prisons, but more like Amazon Fresh. We hope to have her on the show soon to talk about this initiative. Till then, stay tuned. City Council member for the 45th District, Jumaane Williams, announced on Twitter that he's exploring the possibility of running for Lieutenant Governor of New York. We'll have Jumaane on the show later this week to talk about this and his arrest last week protesting the detention of an immigrant rights activist and more. Looking forward to that. And finally, in today's world, the following might sadly be useful. Brookliner.com did a little research about what to do in the event of a ballistic missile attack in the borough. This, of course, comes on the wake of the false but hardly improbable alarm in Hawaii this past weekend about an incoming attack. In Brooklyn, you may occasionally notice signs that say fallout shelter. Well, Brookliner.com reports that many are relics, but they do give some practical tips and point you to ready.gov, which has some advice that will be worth heeding, like finding a friend who has a cement box for a basement. Good luck! Stay tuned. We'll be back with our first guest. It was about 8 years ago that a 7.0 magnitude earthquake struck Haiti's capital region. More than 250,000 people died as a result, and another 1.5 million were displaced. In the wake of this disaster, Haitians were given temporary protected status to remain, reside, and work in the U.S. Approximately 60,000 are still here under that status. But last year, the administration announced that status is being revoked, and they will have to leave by 2019. Members of the large Haitian-American community right here in Brooklyn have been intimately involved in the recovery and the efforts to extend TPS and in the conversation about Haiti's recent characterizations by President Trump. We welcome two of those individuals on the show today. Dr. Andre Peck is Executive Director of the Haitian-American Community Coalition. Thanks for joining us today, Dr. Peck. And photographer Marc Baptiste. Welcome to 112BK.
Thank you for having us, Ashley.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, let's just open with the thing and call the thing a thing. These comments by President Trump, which were not just inaccurate, but I would say racist. How are you feeling about them right now, Marc?
Well, as a Haitian American, I think it was hurtful, more than anything. A place you've never been, you have no knowledge of, and you call it shithole. Let's call it like it is. It's not a shit house. You call it a shithole. Excuse my French. I didn't say it. He said it. Now they're trying to backtrack. But he doesn't know the Haitian people, the resiliency of Haitian people. We're not going to lie down until you apologize. So, Mr. Trump, you open a can of worms you should never open. It hurts deeply. And they're going to march until we get what we deserve.
Dr. Peck?
Yeah, it's very unfortunate because it shows a lack of education, I would say, because of also not really paying attention to our history as Haitians. We have a very long history. We have been the very first black, country to be independent in 1804 with the heroes such as Jean-Jacques Dessalines and Toussaint Louverture. I know some of you know our history very well, but I just want to point it out for our viewers. And also, not only that, after our independence, after pushing the French out of our country, we didn't stay there. We became the beacon for many other countries. Venezuela is one of them that we help. Even here also, if you go to places such as Georgia, you can actually see monuments that have been put together just to commemorate the presence of 750 Haitians who fought in the battle just to give independence to the USA here. Wow. So I want to bring this to the attention of our viewers today, just to let them know that we may be in a bad situation today, but we had very glorious days as Haitians. And we have a lot of Haitians here. We have very professionals. We have doctors, lawyers, we have engineers. We have people at so many levels in this country participating in the American dream. I was born and raised in Haiti. I have all these two countries at heart, Haiti and also the U.S. I know the U.S. is made of people who are very, would like to share, who are very compassionate. And this president didn't show any compassion at all.
Do you think with this president that there is the pure ignorance of just not knowing or the willful ignorance of not being interested enough to find out?
First of all, he's a new junkie. He believed what he saw on television, but not reading it. I think it's pure ignorant to call a nation that you don't even know, you never stand foot on, a shithole, or people in Nigeria living in tent. He doesn't know when you go to Lagos with Victoria Island, it's almost look like Dubai. That's how much construction they're doing in Nigeria. Let me take it a step back. Yes, as Haitian American, I went back to Haiti in 1997 and I started documenting Haiti since before the earthquake, during the earthquake, and after the earthquake, until now. I might go next month. When you hear that comment and you see the beauty that I see in my Haiti, in the people, how hard they work. I mean, the government, we have our problem, so is this one, but we're trying to be better every day. We're everywhere. We're in Russia, we're in Miami, we're in Boston, we're in New York. You know, we in Paris, we're everywhere. And we're trying to do the best we can to help ourselves and our people. And with pride, with dignity, with respect of one another. This president, 45, have no respect for black people, period. You want people from Norway, not Africa or Caribbean?
Right.
That's even deeper. That's the deep root of the problem. If you're going racist, there's no way going natural on television and say, I'm not a racist. Only racist people say stuff like that.
So I think the president lives in a bubble, and he is not sophisticated enough to make, to know what to say and what not to say.
Right.
We live in a country where I'm sure that there were probably presidents before him or other people who maybe think the same way, but they were sophisticated enough to know exactly what to say and what not to say.
Right.
He's very impulsive as well. This impulsion that he is having, like dealing with, because of being the president of the United States, you are also president of the world in some kind of way.
Correct.
And there are things that you cannot say. There are things that there is a particular behavior that you need to have when you are facing a certain situations.
Right.
And you have to keep your calm also in certain situations. You cannot just have a reflexive type of relationship.
Absolutely.
When someone says something, you just respond right away and think after. And I think that's very, very dangerous. I will say also to what Marc says, I think there is a base of ignorance as well.
Right.
Because when you are attacking a country like Africa, not a country, a continent.
A continent.
Because,
Yes.
exactly. We have more than 50 countries that make up Africa. Africa is actually the motherland. That's where all of us originated from. And when you're looking at people phenotypically, you see the external appearance of someone. But
Right.
we actually, in reality, scientifically, we actually one race. It's because of migration to different parts of the globe that people get the features that they are showing.
Right.
So if you go to the molecule of DNA, our DNA molecule, all of us, regardless of our complexions of our races, has the African DNA that is part of us. So basically, by denigrating a continent such as Africa, it's actually denigrating yourself.
Right.
Not really realizing where you're from.
You're denigrating the world
Exactly.
in a
And
sense.
yourself.
So if we think about it in terms of what America stands for, what America is supposed to stand for, I think about the fact that I see the Statue of Liberty every time I cross the bridge. It's the land of the free. So what does it mean when the land of the free does something like revoke the temporary protected status of people who are very much still in need of help with their recovery?
Let's not even go that far. Look at Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is America. Look what they're dealing with right now. And the president is throwing paper towel at the audience. To me, that was disgraceful. It was tacky. And I don't think the Puerto Rican people love it. They're American like him. He's also part of immigrant. His great-grandparents come from somewhere.
Right.
His wife is immigrant. Let's call it like it is. And you're calling those type of people you want in the country now. African doesn't matter anymore. You want, our nose are too wide, we're too dark skinned, too brown.
No such thing.
Come on.
And furthermore, we are all immigrants. The only true Americans are the Native Americans who are here in this world. All of us that came at different parts of our history for reasons that are basically pushed us to be here.
Then why would they revoke it? That's what I'm confused about. Why revoke the temporary protected status of Haitians?
Not just the Haitian on 2019, look at the DACA situation we're facing right now.
Right.
Trying to, those kids that don't even know their country, the origin country where their parent is from. They come here as kids. He's trying to send them out. For what? Because because they're from Latin America, they're Mexican, the Caribbean, the Haitian, and then what are you going to do with those people from Norway? You're going to keep them?
Because to someone like him, maybe it just, and this is my thought, from his comments, from the way his policy has gone so far, even the line that he keeps using, America first, what it makes me think is that to him, anybody who doesn't look like him and his family does not belong.
I definitely agree, because saying let's go back, America first, and let's go back to the way things were. So it has always puzzled me, because I always ask myself which part of the history that he's referring to.
Right.
Because go back to what? We are in 2017. There are many things have changed. Yes,
we're here.
18.
Right.
So to go back to what exactly? What does that actually mean? Because I know that TPS, temporary protected status, is given to countries mainly when you have some kind of very big disaster, natural disasters, or maybe political disasters in your country. So now when we are looking at Haiti at this particular time, so the case to make today to say, okay, Haitians or people who are beneficiaries of the TPS, as far as Haitians are concerned, must stay here. So let's look at the facts now.
Right.
Because in 2009, just before the actual earthquake, Haiti was facing with already a lot of problems. We have deforestation in Haiti. We had famine. We had all kinds of situations. Yes, problems with water. So at that particular time, and Haiti was actually considered as the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. That's before 2010, before the earthquake. When the earthquake hit on January 12, 2010, so basically, you're giving the numbers, about 200. They don't actually even know the numbers of people who died. Wow. But when I try to understand this context, Haiti has a population of 10 billion. So you have close to 1.5 million people were displaced after the earthquake. You have about 250,000, 300,000. Can you actually even imagine the number of people who died?
I can't.
The rubble and all these situations, all our institutions, our courts, everything was basically destroyed. So some people may say, okay, that was in 2010. It's 8 years later. There are other countries like Somalia. You have Honduras, you have Nicaragua, El Salvador. Right. They had actually TPS for more than 20 years. The conditions have to be looked at first in the country to know where you're sending these people to. Right. You have camps, a misfit type of tents, or people who are still residing. After the earthquake, we had the cholera epidemic that took place that same year in October 2010. You had an additional close to 15,000 people died. People were also displaced during that particular time. You had 875,000 people who contracted cholera at that time. And how did they contract it? It was basically proven in research. United Nations have actually sent some soldiers from Nepal who came, and cholera is endemic in their country. They brought it to Haiti and caused cholera epidemic. In October of 2016, we got hit again by Hurricane Matthews. Hurricane Matthews again.
That was a big disaster. I remember that one, not to cut you off, Doc. It's almost like Haiti kind of catch a break.
Right.
January 12, 2010, earthquake. 2016, Matthew, wiped out the Southwest. I mean, I went 3 days with Dr. Henry Paul. We conducted a mission, like 3 days until after that. I never seen anything like that. It's almost like an atomic bomb.
Marc, what are you seeing? I mean, you go there, and I know that you're bringing your camera and you're taking photos and you're trying to document what's happening in your homeland. What are you seeing when you step onto the island?
To me, I want to show, still capture the dignity of the people. I'm not after about the misery. Right. I'm after to show the beauty and the honesty of those people and the hardworking people, and they got their thing going. And to me, it's to capture the truth about Haiti. And in 2011, I did a show down in County in Sean Penn called The Truth with Sonia Nuntao, which raised money to send back to Haiti to create tent and to help out with medicine in any way we can. Right. In 2012, Dr. Paul with NOAA New York and a group of doctors went to the Northeast, Cape Haitian. Right now, we keep going every year. We're going on our 6th year over at Calco. We got a clinic. To me, it's about to go out and put your hand dirty. And I cannot stand on the sidewalk, see I call it my people because the whole Haiti are my family. When one of us hurt, we all hurt. Right. So my thing is, if I could do just this minuscule thing, I will do whatever I can to help that nation. And then now we got 2018, another catastrophe called 45 Orange. Wow. That word is so powerful. It's so powerful. They think it's going away with that? It's not going to get away with it.
Can you talk to me about the media portrayal so far? You're going and you're seeing what's happening and you're, like you said, trying to capture the dignity of your people. But I would say that when I see people talk about Haiti typically in the news, it is a misery fest.
It's negative,
It is consistently a misery fest. But tell me about how do you think that affects, to be perfectly honest, how do you think that affects the general American's view of not just Haiti, but also then the comments of 45 and TPS? Like all of these things have to be connected, right?
Okay. All the news, like CNN, Al Jazeera, and CNBC, they all got their angles. I think Anderson Cooper said it best. There's one shot during the earthquake, some kid got hit by a bottle or a brick. Anderson Cooper was filming it, and he put the camera down to go help that kid with it. To me, that's the truth, okay? And if you look at his statement a couple nights ago about what the 45 said, to me, it was almost in tears.
He was very emotional about it.
So emotional about it because he lives in Haiti doing the earthquake for months. And that's good. I saw him on the ground working, not afraid to touch Haitian brothers and sisters. Not like President Bush did, and then he wiped his impact. But that's the truth. To me, I'm after the truth. Yes, we're poor. We need infrastructure. We need help. But we're not a shithole. No. We are the pearl descente. We are the beauty of the Caribbean.
And to add to what Marc is saying, you know, Haiti is a country of contrast because being raised in Haiti, actually, I've seen like some places in Haiti that are so beautiful that I've not seen here. Not to put anything down here, going to some people's houses and to see the luxury that they have. So it's a country of contrast where you can really see the contrast of someone driving, like let's say BMW, and you see someone very close by not having anything. So what the media does sometimes they portray the have-nots only. Right. And sometimes it's not really fair, because I do believe that for our youth, for people growing up, they need also to see another phase, another facet of Haiti also that shows that.
This is really interesting to me because my friend and mentor Roxane Gay wrote a book called An Untamed State, of which a large part is set in Haiti. And one of the things that she wrote in the book was this character whose family was very wealthy and lived in Haiti. And there were people who criticized her and said, you know, you're making things up that doesn't exist in Haiti. And she, of course, was like, you're ignorant. This absolutely exists in Haiti. So, you know, I'm aware that the media portrayal actually leads to people's really, really misguided ideas about what exists in Haiti and what kind of person lives in Haiti. And we do have to wrap up really quickly.
2 seconds,
here.
let me make that point. The reason the contrast, I'm going to hit the contrast real quick.
Okay.
Yes, 1% of the country is super rich. And then poverty is a business. If I could keep you down, I'll keep you down. The same thing with the tax law I just passed. The rich is going to get richer, and the middle class is going to be wiped out, and you stay with the poor.
Right.
So to get balance, you need this person to help out this person.
Right.
Otherwise, when the news media go only show the negative and then feed that to the world, it doesn't do a service.
So
that's why I have to focus. I have to show the beauty and the people.
I appreciate that. We actually have to wrap up. I'm so sorry, Dr. Peck. We really will, we will keep talking about this. This is not something that is going to be a one-time conversation.
Exactly.
And we would love to have you back sometime. We'll see you.
Thanks for having us.
We'll love that.
All right.
Amelia, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, Ashley.
So I wanted to ask you, first of all, about the creative process of creating this album. Where does your inspiration come from?
Well, it came from trying to be very present in the moment of creation and not trying to think about expectations or what the end product should be like. Last year I took a sabbatical, a year just dedicated to really establishing a healthy relationship with making art and trying to really stay true to that moment that art comes out of your body and what that means. And I think it's important that we all kind of practice that, being in the moment, feeling as much as we can.
Absolutely, and nobody's better at that than kids, I feel like.
Totally. They're like masters of it. I think it's as we get older that we start to kind of become socialized and think about the world around us and how we're judged or viewed. And I would love to play a part in trying to kind of make that period a little bit longer in our lives and really kind of hold on to that child imagination and the play that can benefit us even through our adulthood.
So tell me what's coming up for you.
So I'm about to release my third kids album, and it focuses on play, on creative play. I say it shines a light into the creative process to unearth, playful bursts of musical joy.
Yes.
really. So it's a new album coming out that really focuses on whatever.
Yeah.
It's called Ridiculous Nonsense. So it's kind of just like, yeah, whatever came out. This is, modeling behavior that can, maybe help you do the same thing.
Yeah, be a good one.
Yeah.
That's how you become a good one. And you have a performance coming up.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a big album release party as part of my 8th annual Winter Bash. So it's an annual event. We've been doing it since we've started this, so it's like we're turning 8 years old, which is very exciting. And it's at Shapeshifter Lab in Brooklyn. It's always a really, really great time.
Okay, thanks, Ross. What about political messages in your songs?
Yeah, so I felt like many other artists that I've spoken to that I felt kind of activated, and I wanted to make music in response to everything that's been going on the past year. And I kind of feel stuck in what my capacity is, and I felt like music is my strength and a skill and a way to speak to people and communicate a message. So I found through my songwriting that threads of activism and politics and openness, mindfulness would come into these songs, and so I do have a few political songs on this album to promote that, to promote the power of the voice, to promote activism and advocacy and the power that we have as an individual within a larger community to really to make change.
So you're gonna play something for us today, right?
Yes, I certainly am.
Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's called Put Your Pants On. I think it's my favorite song off the album. And it's about taking that first step in the morning, maybe when you realize there's a whole crazy world out there, and you just gotta get up out of bed and into your pants.
Excellent.
To start the day.
Fantastic. Let's hear it.
Okay. It in. Then you take the other leg and slip it in too. Then you shimmy, shimmy, wiggle, wiggle, shimmy, 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 wiggle, 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 shimmy, 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 wiggle. Put your pants on. Put your pants on. Why do we wear pants anyway? So tight against our skin. If I had my little way, I'd never wear pants again. Why do we wear pants anyway? So tight against our skin. If I had my little way, I'd never wear pants again. Put your pants on. Put your pants on. Ashley, why aren't you doing it with me? Come on.
I didn't know I was
Then we gotta do the pants.
All right,
Come
we're
on,
gonna
okay, everybody.
do the pants
Ready?
thing.
1, 2, 3. Put your pants on. 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 Put your pants on.
That was amazing.
You're amazing. Thanks so much, Ashley.
Thanks for joining us today. I'm going to be out the rest of the week, but you'll be in the able hands of Brian Vines and Jarrett Murphy. We'll bring you conversations about our year under Trump and the latest crackdowns and protests related to DACA. I hope you can join us, and I'll see you next week.